HomeCourtEdge TV is here for your viewing pleasure. Please click that button as we strive for 1,000 subscribers. Enjoy this video.
Third and deciding game of this Western Conference playoff series, where it is winner take all between Los Angeles and the Seattle Storm. San Antonio survived a big scare from Sacramento, had to go to overtime to win in 3 games, did that last night. And here, Seattle evened up the series with a 64-50 win on Sunday. The winner will take on San Antonio in the Western Conference Final. Hi, I'm Pam Ward, along with Carolyn Peck. Heather Cox is with us as well. Seattle plays very tough in this building, Carolyn. They've only lost 1 game here all season.
And the big reason they've only lost 1 game, Pan, is because they are #1 in allowing opponents points per game. They did a stifling job on the LA Sparks, but LA was very focused when they came in this morning at shoot-around, and Michael Cooper said they weren't as ready for the physical play in Game 2, but they were definitely ready for Game 3.
LA with a franchise-low 15 points in the first half of Sunday's loss. As we go to today's T-Mobile Day 5 starting lineups, and starting with the Sparks, the strength is up front: Milton Jones, Leslie, and Parker, and the backcourt, Keisha Brown, the start for the 3rd straight game, along with Shannon Bobbitt, who's been sharing the point guard duty with Tamika Johnson. For this Seattle Storm, Sue Bird and Sheryl Swoopes. Swoopes was like a fountain of youth the other day with 16 points and 4 steals in the victory. Camille Little, Yolanda Griffith, the veteran, and Tanisha Wright round out your starting lineup. Now let's go over to the 3rd member of our team, Heather Cox.
Pam, thanks so much. After Seattle's Game 1 loss, Lauren Jackson was so dejected, she decided she would do whatever it took to help her team. So she actually went to practice for the first time since having ankle surgery on her ankle 3 weeks prior. But the pain and swelling was so bad, she decided 2 hours before tip there was no way she could play and that it would be irresponsible. Then after seeing the way the team responded, winning Game 2 resoundingly, today she said she feels much more confident and comfortable in her role on the bench, and has assured us that now there's no chance she will return to the court until the finals, should Seattle make it that far.
Thank you, Heather. So no suspense tonight. There was suspense on Sunday. In fact, Michael Cooper told us during shoot-around Sunday afternoon and that he thought that he would see her play in game number 2. There were no shoot-arounds, he told us before the game, and now there's no suspense. She's over there in street clothes, and we are ready to go. Game number 2, in case you missed it, was very, very physical. Michael Cooper expects more of the same today, but insists that his team will do, as he says, all of the pounding. Here we go. Lisa Leslie and Yolanda Griffith tip it off. And the ball goes to Seattle to start things off. This crowd was a major factor on Sunday, and they're excited already today.
I think that the defense of the Seattle Storm gave them something to be excited about.
LA shooting only 31% for the entire game. Tanisha Wright played a lot of point with Sue Bird sliding over to the 2, and that's where they start right now. Bird cuts to the basket. They missed her. She had a step on Bobbitt. Wright gets around everybody to score.
I think with the work that Sue Bird has done, Sheryl Swoopes has done, sometimes the defense ignores the other players, and Tanisha Wright took advantage of it.
Wright averaging 10.5 points per game during the series, averaged only 8 during the regular year, and Keisha Brown answers for LA.
Michael Cooper continually told Keisha Brown, you've got to be ready to shoot the basketball. That will allow things to open up for the big 3 inside.
That really has been the problem with LA. The big 3 are so good, but the question has always been backcourt scoring, or at least this season. Bird over to Little, left wide open for the 3. Camille Little averaging 9 points in the first 2 games of this series. LA won on its home court on Friday before Seattle came back Sunday. Shot clock at 8. Brown elevates, rebound. Leslie can't get it. Sheryl Swoopes does. 2 of the originals in this league, and Swoopes and Leslie.
One of the things that LA has had a problem with is their execution in the half court, and the Seattle Storm has done a great job of transition defense, getting their defense set.
Sue Bird was looking over at Tom Maurer for the foul and got it on Shannon Bobbitt.
But one thing that Seattle does a very good job of is moving the basketball. You look how the defense has sucked into the paint. Sue Bird makes the extra pass, finds Camille Little up top. She's wide open all day to knock that shot down.
That foul was on Shannon Bobbitt. Sue Bird was looking over at the official, begging for the call, and got it, and she looked over at Cobain and said, thank you. Shot clock at 3, right off the iron. Candace Parker has her first rebound and brings it up. She is their best point guard out there, but misses badly on the scoop. Little cleans up. Yolanda Griffith trailing the play because she's tying her shoe. Just now crossing midcourt is Yo. Little and Delisha Milton-Jones getting physical underneath. And Bird throws it out of Swoopes' reach.
That was a break for the LA Sparks because Swoopes was really posted up down low.
Michael Cooper winning 2 championships in 2000 and 2001 with this franchise, coming back to 7th season overall. In charge of this team, Shannon Bobbitt gets it swatted away by Yo. Yolanda Griffith is 38 years old and got that stuff out of here.
And I think that Brian Agler is accurate in saying it's a shame she was left off the all-defensive team. Yolanda Griffith has been huge with her defense against Lisa Leslie, and then you see the terrific block shot.
Playing with a bad hamstring, back, and knee. It's still out there battling, locked up with Leslie underneath. Look at Little take the ball away from Parker. Swoopes hit 2 threes the other day. That one just a skosh long. And here comes LA looking to run. Bobbitt on Bird, who takes a swipe at the ball, and Bobbitt hung on to score.
And that's how they were able to score in game 1. It was the transition baskets. If you make LA have to set up every possession, then you can stay in the ball game. You cannot allow them to get easy baskets out of transition.
And with that transition basket, LA has cut the lead to 5-4. Shot clock inside of 10. Bird to right, nice cut, and she got it, and the foul.
No, the official says no, the foul occurred on the floor. They're going together to discuss it. I think it's a good job by the officials. Confer.
Oh, they are saying it is before the shot. Wow.
I think it happened because after the foul, then she traveled.
She had never caught it.
Brian Agler, the head coach, along with Michael Cooper, mic'd up. And obviously Agler is going to disagree and does disagree with that call. Lisa Leslie whistled for her first personal. That was one heck of an athletic play by Wright, however, just to get the shot up. Oh, Swoopes to Little. Beautiful no-look pass.
Swoopes has upped her game. She, her veteran leadership, and I talked to her before the game. I said, now, you of anybody knows how to win championships. And she said, yeah, you know, I do know a little bit about that.
Understatement.
No
Winning
question.
the 4 championships with Houston right off the bat in this league. Shot clock at 6. Lisa physically in.
And Michael Cooper said Lisa Leslie was going to be ready for the physical play. She demonstrated she's going to the basket tonight.
In this series, Lisa just 6 for 17 from the floor, 6 made baskets, 14 turnovers in the series before she hit that one. Bird will pick and roll to Little, who draws the foul. No shot. Let's go back to Swoopes' pass.
Does Sheryl Swoopes have eyes in the back of her head? You've got to compliment Sheryl Swoopes from the pass, but you also have to give compliments to Camille Little. And then look at Lisa. She's going at 3 defenders there. She's determined.
Delisha Milton-Jones called for that last foul. Sheryl Swoopes, 37 years of age, has been banged up playing with plantar fasciitis in her left foot and also still feeling the effects of a concussion.
And her son Jordan's a ball boy sitting on the baseline.
That missed everything, but a foul has been called again against Los Angeles. So 14 fouls against LA, none against Seattle. And Tanisha Wright heads to the free throw line as Cooper can just shake his head on the sidelines. Marie Ferdinand Harris called for that foul. Wright, in her 4th season out of Penn State, has really elevated her game in this series.
Well, both teams have referred to the physical play, but The thing about it is Seattle has gone to the free throw line 14 more times than the Sparks.
And Griffith gives him second life. And Wright missed her second shot. Wright starting every game since the Olympic break for the Storm, who have been without Lauren Jackson. They get nasty Alicia Milton-Jones with her second foul. And just like that, Seattle is in the penalty. 5 minutes and 33 seconds left to go in the first quarter. That's 5 team fouls already. So Seattle's going to be shooting free throws for the rest of this quarter.
It's an advantage to Seattle the way they've been shooting their free throws in this playoff.
Little only a 64% shooter, but hits it. And this was a great pickup for Seattle. They got Camille Little from Atlanta in a June 22nd trade, and she really has been paying dividends, particularly now with Jackson not able to work.
And I really thought Camille Little was hitting her stride at San Antonio, but was not protected. That's how she ended up in Atlanta and then was traded here. Brian Agler, smart move.
He's made a lot of smart moves in his career. Ferdinand Harris, nothing but the bottom of the net as she shot that one over Tanisha Wright.
Well, she was 4 for 5 in game 1 with 11 points. It's important. Keisha Brown scored early. Now Ferdinand Harris has hit a basket.
On the break, Parker. Oh, what a play by Tanisha Wright. Brian Agler likes her primarily because of her defense, and she stopped that break. Parker maybe a little bit too unselfish, had an opportunity to take it to the hole herself. Bird gets around the little screen, pops. Parker with the board. Dan Harris, that was a foul by Camille Little, who threw her body into it. Camille called for her first personal foul. Seattle was so good in game number 2, winning it 64-50. Here we are in game 3.
Well, game 3, it's exciting. This is great. This is what basketball is all about. It's either win or go home.
Presented by Adidas. That is a Space Needle. Carolyn Peck still too chicken to go up in that. Maybe next trip.
I wanted to go. You wouldn't go with me.
Come on, you got to grow up. You got to get up there. First free throw is for LA. Ferdinand Harris, who has been coming off the bench for Michael Cooper, and he had a nice talk with her and just said, I still need you. And basically she said that's all that she needed to hear, because you know how players are. You lose your confidence, you get benched, you think it's a reflection on your play, but it was just something else he wanted to try.
Well, she only had 5 points in game 2. She's already at 4 now. She's very offensive-minded. That's a good sign for the LA Sparks.
And they've already scored more points than they did in the first quarter in game 2.
Well, they're shooting 57% in the first half. They only shot 18.
Oh, Yo into Little, can't get it to fall. Candace Parker trying to get around Swoopes and then has to wait for help. Good job by Seattle to get back. Milton Jones from the top of the key. Leslie batted it. And a foul has been called against Seattle. Yolanda Griffith whistled for her first personal foul.
And the smallest player on the floor, Pam, got in there to rebound. She looked like you.
Rebounding?
Yeah.
Or being short. Shannon Bobbitt at 5'2", the starting point guard, the rookie out of Tennessee, heads to the free throw line. In this series, Bobbitt 3 for 13 from the floor. And that really was a problem, was their lack of backcourt scoring in game number 2.
And I don't think Michael Cooper was pleased with the rebounding effort in game 2 as well. And they emphasized in shoot-around, crash the boards. Bobbitt followed the orders.
There was big emphasis on defense and rebounding at this afternoon shoot-around for LA. It was a very businesslike and serious shoot-around for them because they did not look good at all on Sunday.
There was no talking.
No talking. Only Michael Cooper's voice could be heard. Lisa Leslie from time to time. Oh, that's a walk. On Swin Cash. Swin Cash had a birthday the other day. She is now 29 years old. LA leads for the first time in this game, and actually the first time in this city, at least in this series. They did not lead at all in the game on Sunday and trailed by as many as 21.
Lisa Leslie wants it down low, isolated one-on-one against Yolanda Griffith.
Well, they have had some battles over their careers back to when Yo was playing with Sacramento, and Michael Cooper said that because they were so physical the other day, obviously their rivalry has gone to a whole new level. Oh, swatted away by Leslie, who led the league in blocks this year. Felicia Milton-Jones gets rid of Little, missed the three. Bird gets the weak side rebound. Bird over Bobbitt, big height advantage, and she hits it. Sue's first bucket. And the first basket for Seattle from someone other than Tanisha Wright or Camille Little. 21 seconds left on the shot clock. The Eastern Conference Finals have been set, and this is the way it will shake down. Detroit takes on New York in Newark. Game 1 on NBA TV coming up Friday, and then Game 2 will be in Detroit on Sunday, 3 Eastern time on ESPN2. If necessary, we will be there at 7 Eastern time on Monday. So it's Sunday, Monday, games 2 and 3 in Detroit on ESPN2.
And Detroit really showed a lot of fight and championship mentality, winning today without Poinette Pearson.
Who would have figured they would lead by 30 at the half as they steamrolled Indy 80-61. 3-on-2 break, right to Swoopes. Little's been left alone, but decided not to challenge Leslie. And a foul has been called on Tamika Johnson.
Well, Swoopes she had Tamika Johnson locked up, posted up down low. Johnson didn't have any other option but to foul down low.
Johnson at 5'3", and Sheryl Swoopes back to the line for Seattle. Swoopes had that concussion back on September the 6th. And this is the free throw. Said all she remembers is waking up in the hospital. And this is the combination of the big two in game 2.
Well, you look at the point production and having the veteran leadership of Sheryl Swoopes along with Sue Bird, and they look for each other on the floor. Sword.
Swoopes plus Bird equals Sword. If you were to combine that, or if you go the other way. Oops, let's go over to Heather Cox.
Pam, those 16 points out of game 2 out of Sheryl Swoopes, more of a surprise considering that before the game, during warm-ups, she was battling headaches because of that concussion. In fact, had to go over to the bench, put her hand in her head, or her head in her hands for quite some time, sort of work on balance, and has continued to be plagued by that concussion.
Thank you, Heather, and it really is amazing. She looked absolutely terrible before the game on Sunday, and then she came out and played like gangbusters. She said the only thing she wants to do today is play better than she did on Sunday.
She said she felt like she had some more in to get out. She could show a little bit more.
And that's pretty scary because she looked pretty darn good on Sunday. Terrific performance for a veteran ball player who has struggled back from injury this season. Revitalized here in Seattle. Shot clock at 6.
But you look at the patience that Seattle has with the execution of their offense.
Nice job by Wright to totally rid herself of Johnson. Biggest lead of the day, 5 points for Seattle. LA in a bit of a drought right now. Not scored and a field goal in the last 3 minutes and 40 seconds, missing its last 6 shots. But a foul has been called on Seattle's Tanisha Wright. And Sue Bird comes back into the ball game. Swin Cash. 2 Connecticut Huskies, 1 in, 1 out. Delisha Milton-Jones leading LA in this series, averaging 11 points per game. Her first basket.
We talked about the emphasis at LA's shoot-around this morning, and they worked on their defense, but they also spent a lot of time executing their half-court offense, and they haven't shown that patience today.
Sheryl Swoopes taking a break. Katie Gerald's in. Camille Little's back in as Yolanda Griffith goes to the bench. We mentioned that Delisha Milton-Jones leading the team in scoring at 11 points per game. Parker and Leslie at 10.5 points per game. Well off their season averages. Milton-Jones hits them both.
A lot was made about the physical play on Sue Bird, so it'll be interesting to watch how Tamika Johnson plays Sue Bird.
Just needed that little bit of a screen from Little to get the shot off, but Milton-Jones shoots it up to Johnson. Parker on Little.
With the left.
Man, that's good defense, and it didn't matter. Parker's first bucket.
She's got a little NBA element to her game.
She's got a lot of elements to her game. And the lead is cut back to 1. Gerald's the three-point specialist, leaves it a little long. Spencer boards it, gets it up to Parker. Parker on Gerald's.
She's in trouble.
Big time.
There's nothing Katie Gerald's can do with that. One-on-one, I don't know too many that can guard Candace Parker.
Probably saw her light flash before her eyes with Parker coming her way. LA on a 6-0 run to regain the lead at 17-16. Right to Little, too much traffic. Dribbled right into a double team. Parker on the breakaway, and she lays it in. She's got a couple of dunks this year, didn't do it here.
We asked her if the opportunity presented itself, would she do it? And she said if it was good for the team, but she had to look at what the situation was.
Parker has scored the last 6 LA points. We are approaching 15 seconds to go in the quarter.
Tanisha Wright's dribbling a little bit too much in that corner.
Leslie with the rebound. Johnson has to get a shot off. Parker, I don't think they realized it. But Candace Parker with the last half a dozen points of the quarter. LA closing on an 8-0 run to take the first quarter lead 19-16. 11 more points than they scored in the...
Back to Seattle, an 8-0 run gives the Sparks the lead at the end of the first quarter, joined by Sparks head coach Michael Cooper. And coach, already more offense in this first quarter than you had the entire half of game 2. How have you been able to get more offense? What adjustments did you make?
Well, we made slight adjustments because their defense is really packing it in on us, and we just got to get the ball out. I think our posts are working extremely hard to get good low post position. As long as they do that, some good things are going to happen because they got a double.
You told me before the game that you were surprised by the physical nature of game 2. How have you been able to counterbalance that and attack more physically in this game?
No, I think you just have to play hard, and I don't think we came out playing hard. You see what happens when we come play hard, and we're getting our chances. Sometimes if you get out and run, you can prevent them being very physical.
Thanks, coach.
Thank you.
Thank you, Heather. And they did score a grand total of 15 points, a franchise low in the first half of game number 2. And with 19 points already, they have surpassed that, and Candace Parker off to a good start tonight. She's had a couple of open court opportunities.
She's got 6 points already, and Michael Cooper's right. It's hard for them to muscle, double team, triple team if they don't have to play in the half court.
Griffith goes down, air ball by Leslie. Tamika Johnson misses. Yo Griffith comes down with it. Seattle looking to run, stop, pop for Swoopes. So back and forth action here. LA up by 3. Johnson by Bird, dishes to Parker.
That's where the LA Sparks are great. That's in transition. Good decision to Tamika Johnson going in hard and then dropping a dime to Candace Parker.
Parker with 8 points. As Little goes in and around for her 9th point. Camille Little having another solid effort in this series. And then Sheryl Swoopes goes over the shoulder. Sheryl's first foul, the Eastern Conference Finals are set, and originally they were going to play the first game in Newark. Now we're getting word that they are going to play the first game back in Manhattan. So it's back at the Garden, all right? And then we're going to go to Detroit for games 2 and 3. Those games will be on ESPN2.
Hey, stay tuned right here, and you'll find out where you need to be.
Breaking news. Johnson with the miss, and the ball goes over to Seattle. That's it was deflected now.
It was blocked.
It was blocked, so the ball stays with LA with 14 seconds left on the shot clock. They're going to say that Yo got a hand on it. Much to the chagrin of this loud crowd here in Seattle. Good fans at Key Arena. They've only lost once all year. That was to Connecticut in June. Leslie aggressively takes it to Griffith and is called for the offensive foul. That is 2 now on Lisa.
And Michael Cooper made emphasis of where Yo was going to be to defend Lisa Leslie every time the ball could possibly go into her. And she has that mentality. She's got to play aggressive if they want to advance to the second round.
Sue Bird talked about that with us today, that's one of the things Griffith does. It does not show up in the box score as Cash travels for the second time tonight. How many offensive fouls Griffith draws. We saw it in game 2, and there was a good example here in game 3.
And Sue Bird complimented how many things that Yolanda Griffith does that just don't show up in the stat sheet.
He is a big-time veteran. Parker traveled. She disagrees. No surprise. LA up here by 3. 4 turnovers now for the Sparks.
Marianne Stanley from the bench is trying to get Parker's attention. Forget putting it on the floor. Shoot the basketball.
Either LA or Seattle will host game 1 of the Western Conference Finals against San Antonio. Coming up this weekend. Yo strongly over Leslie, can't get it to fall. Johnson knocks it out of bounds with 6 seconds left on the shot clock. There should have been a reset. Seattle is asking for one. We had a shot earlier today of Sheryl Swoopes earlier in this game. Just a couple minutes ago, Sheryl Swoopes took the tape off her foot because it was too tight. So at least no injury there for Sheryl. Spencer over right. They need that from Sid.
Maverick, as Coach Michael Cooper calls her.
LA with a 5-point lead, its largest of the game. Cooper told us that if his team gets the same shots they got in game 2, he would be very happy with it. He said simply they just didn't hit him in game 2, and he's confident they can in this one.
And remember, Pam, in game 1, 32 points from the bench play.
Another good move for Griffith. Her first basket. Cuts the lead to 3. Leslie too tall for Delisha Milton-Jones.
But it was the right idea. When the ball goes to the top, Delisha Milton-Jones had the post up on Tanisha Wright down low. She just didn't connect on the pass.
Third turnover of this quarter for Los Angeles. Putting on some pressure now as Bobbitt has come in to replace Tamika Johnson at the point. Leslie getting right in Camille Little's face, but Gerald picks it up. Shot clock at 7. Cash. And with the shot clock at 2, Camille Little hits it. Nice pass from Swin.
Patience and composure.
Camille Little with 11, half of Seattle's 22 points. Parker much more aggressive today. Candace into double figures with 10. She is 5 for 7 from the floor.
That's one way to silence the crowd. It definitely dropped off.
Bird over Bobbitt, and that height advantage, she's taking advantage of that. Sue with 4. Parker locked up with Little, who is called for putting her hands on her. That is 2 on Camille Little. Jessica Morse, in for Candace.
The big difference that I see between Game 2 and Game 3 is Camille Little's physical play in the first half. That really bothered Candace Parker. Today, she welcomes it, she challenges it, and is still aggressive to attack the basket.
Parker with 10 points has taken a break on the bench. Sheryl Swoopes back in for Swin Cash. Ashley Robinson also in for Camille Little. Bobbitt to Moore. They worked on this in shoot-around today to try to get it to Lisa inside. Robinson keeps it alive, but a fresh 24 for LA.
You look at how many times there's an isolation for Lisa Leslie against Yolanda Griffith down low on the block.
Sheryl comes over on the double team, and a foul is called on her. Katie Gerald's whistle for her first personal foul. Candace Parker has 10 of LA's 25 points here in this winner-take-all Western Conference playoff game.
On ESPN.
Thank you, Eric. Ohio State certainly has Miss Beanie in their backfield, but here, let's see what Lisa Leslie's up to.
Well, Michael Cooper knew she was going to attract a lot of attention today, and she knew that it was going to be against Yolanda Griffith. These two have a lot of history against each other, especially with Yolanda Griffith's time that she spent with the Sacramento Monarchs. Lisa said if there's anybody that knows her game and how to defend her, it's Yolanda Griffith.
Lisa just 1 for 4 from the floor, has an opportunity to shoot without Yo in her grill right now. And again, Michael Cooper said that their battle took another step forward in that physical game that we witnessed here on Sunday.
And I think the intensity of the battle between those two is heated up.
They have been teammates on the Olympic team. Lisa Leslie now with 4 points. And the lead is 3 for the Sparks. Marie Ferdinand Harris now guarding Bird, and there is a moving screen called against Ashley Robinson. Her first personal foul, so a defensive switch for LA. Bird was having no trouble shooting over Bobbitt, so they put Ferdinand Harris on her that time. Well, the point guards at LA have been the question mark for this team all season. Leslie able to go in and rebound or miss. That was an emphasis today.
Yeah, terrific job after she missed the shot to continue to attack the offensive glass.
Emphasizing in shoot-around this afternoon, going after it, sending 4 in and sending Bobbitt back to midcourt to stop any break.
Candace Parker about to come back into the game.
Swoopes goes around Leslie, who has 2 big blocks in this game.
She's
Leslie,
demonstrating.
What, the defensive player of the year, and she's showing why she got it.
Well, she has great timing. I mean, Pam, you just watch. It's just like a volleyball set. She does a good job of patience. She knows when the shot's going up, and then bye-bye, see ya.
Averaged just under 3 blocks per game during the regular season to lead the league in that category. LA is a team leading in blocks because they have Parker and Lisa. Shot clock violation as Little is well off the mark. Leslie has 9 blocks in this series, and we're not even 2.5 games into it. What a player she is. Love her or hate her, and opposing teams love to hate her. She is one heck of a basketball player.
Well, in your career, when you're leading the league in points, rebounds, blocks.
4 gold medals in a row with the U.S. Olympic team. Little gets it to Bird. Wright beats Ferdinand Harris and gets the foul. Great pass by Bird to find Wright at the perfect time.
Now this is something that, this is how the Seattle Storm got their lead, extended lead in game 1, was giving up points off turnovers. And then to add even more pain to the scar is the and one, the foul at the end of the shot. You got to make sure she doesn't get this shot off if you're going to foul. Otherwise, just let it go.
Right, Ferdinand Harris just got a hand on her, and it didn't bother her one bit. 2 on Marie. Tanisha Wright has 8 points. Sue Bird averaging 21.5 points in this series.
And Seattle has switched up to a zone defense.
Ferdinand Harris over Bird and knocked it down. She has 6. Lisa Leslie on the bench for Los Angeles.
I don't know how Sue Bird has the energy to do what she does. She ran off about six screens in that possession.
Oh, yo! From the outside, Yolanda Griffith. Brian Agler wanted her to be more aggressive on the offensive end tonight. She has 4 points. And the crowd is loving it in Seattle. Milton Jones shuts him up for a spell. This is a good one. LA up by 4. I don't know how Sue Bird has energy to get out of bed in the morning with all of her year-round basketball activities between playing in Russia, the WNBA, and the national team. Swoopes left wide open. Tanisha Wright gets a relatively easy board and put back. She's into double figures with 10. Parker answers.
She was lighting it up and shooting around earlier before the game started.
12 points for Candace Parker. Might have missed one shot warming up before the game from the outside.
6 of 8 today. Candace Parker was hot when she was warming up earlier. She was zoned in. She was focused. As a rookie, she says her year is not over yet.
World Series. Chicago getting excited. Seattle is excited about their Storm trying to chip into this 4-point lead. Good catch by Yo, but she traveled as she went to the left side of the basket. The winner of this game taking on San Antonio in the Western Conference Finals. It will be New York and Detroit battling it out in the East. Ferdinand Harris into Leslie. Backing up against Yo, who fouled her. 3. Check that, 2 fouls on Yolanda Griffith. 13 foul. And Lisa Leslie heads back to the free throw line.
And each team makes adjustments when you go from game 1 to game 2, game 2 to game 3. And Michael Cooper's adjustment in game 3 was create isolation opportunities for Lisa Leslie to go one-on-one against Yolanda Griffith. And there's really no one in the area that can bring a double team.
Leslie has that one skipped out. Nicknamed Smooth by Michael Cooper. Candace Parker is Silk. And he calls him that all the time. You will never hear him say Lisa. She is smooth. He has nicknames for just about everybody on his team. Lisa misses them both. That's not so smooth, but little Shannon Bobbitt comes away with it.
She's got in there at 5'2".
Nobody saw her. Bobbitt, the rookie out of Tennessee, guarded by Sue Bird. And a foul. Candace Parker was held by Tanisha Wright.
Well, she's just a mismatch to go against her opponent. Is she going to play it on the perimeter? She's bigger than most guards, and then she can take you down low and post up. But if you put a post player on her, then that's when she'll take it back out to the perimeter.
Just a nightmare of a matchup for any opponent, as you mentioned. And Candace Parker heads to the free throw line. LA in the bonus, leading here by 4. Everybody yelling, beat LA now. And Parker, when she was asked about it yesterday, said, I thought they were saying, go LA. She said it very tongue-in-cheek. She knows they're not saying, go LA. But they're used to that chant.
There's her fiance, Sheldon Williams. He plays for the Sacramento Kings, so it's kind of convenient that they both live in California.
Sacramento, the Monarch fans, they know about that Beat LA chant. But Sheldon has been faithfully following Candace in her rookie year. Yolanda Griffith comes down with the rebound. I think Candace is going to win Rookie of the Year.
You think? Yeah. Went out on a limb on that one,
I think we're told to make strong statements in this profession, so I made one there. Tanisha Wright goes around Lisa Leslie.
She almost looked like a tight end. She protected the ball, went into the crowd, and then came out in the wide open.
He's got 12 points. Tanisha Wright showing offensive ability more and more every game. Minute and a half inside of a minute and a half. Leslie on Yo. How much fun is that?
And one.
Oh, she drew another foul.
Check out Tanisha Wright. She just kind of protects it. She gets by everybody, clear daylight. But LA continues to create one-on-one opportunities, and Lisa Leslie is coming out on the better end of the stick with this one.
And this is not good for Seattle. Yo has 3 personal fouls. Looks like Ashley Robinson's going to check in for her at the next whistle. And a lane violation. Wipes out the free throw. Yo sits down with 3 fouls. And she is yelling at one of the officials. Brian Agler goes out to get her. Wow. It's a good thing that ref didn't hear her. Seattle down by 5. Little working against Parker. Leslie helps on the double team, but there's a foul on Parker. 2 on her. Only the 3rd team foul, but it was a shooting foul, so Little heads to the free throw line. Little with 12 tonight. You can cheer on the Sparks and Storm in style. Log on to WNBAstore.com right now. Save up to 20% on your purchase of tees, hats, and more. See the website for details. WNBAstore.com. One store, every team. And I mentioned this the other day. The 2 best-selling jerseys are Candace Parker and Lisa Leslie. I bet you Sue Bird jerseys sell pretty well.
I would say that they will.
Yep. Especially if you can get a discount. Shoot. It's all about saving money. Seattle down 3. Parker goes strong to the hole, but can't connect. Seattle trying to make a push here in the final minute. Bird, daylight, leaves it short. Ball off of Little. LA gets it. Katie Gerald's coming in for the Storm.
It's a rare miss by Sue Bird coming off that screen. She's been money with that shot thus far in the playoffs.
Bird with only 4 points tonight. 2 of 5 from the floor. She does have 3 assists. Moore to Milton Jones. Rebound is off a Seattle player, so a fresh 24 for LA. Seattle trying to avoid losing in the first round of the playoffs for the 4th straight year. They have not gotten out of the first round since they won it all in 2004. Oh, Ferdinand Harris elevating for her 8th point.
Michael Cooper said he hoped that the same shots that they got in game 2 are open today, and he is knocking, and they are knocking them down.
Sparks do have a foul to give. He has complete confidence in the guard. So much made about the disparity between the front court and the back court, as Gerald's had a golden opportunity but couldn't convert. Shot clock is off. Johnson takes it right to Bird and scores. Johnson's first basket gives LA the 5-point lead. Make it a 7-point lead. Gerald's to Little, has to shoot it, but instead has it blocked. Los Angeles, which was terrible in the first half of game 2, scoring only 15 points, has 42 of them so far and are shooting 52% from the floor.
Well, and LA looks like they have adjusted and are ready to play against the physical style defense in Seattle.
Let's go over to Heather Cox, who has Candace.
Thanks so much, Pam. Candace Parker, 13 points in the first half. Candace, you are meeting the same double teams tonight as you did in game 2. The results very different. What did you change to have more success tonight?
I think it's just going to the hole, expecting contact and finishing through contact. And if you get the foul, that's just an extra bonus.
You're 1/2 away from either moving your season on or going home. Ultimately, what do you think will be the deciding factor on winning this game?
I think just defensively, and then also just finishing the play with a box out and rebounding.
We'll let you get to the locker room. Thanks, Candace.
Coming up at the half, it's the IHOP halftime report. They're going to take a look at this first half, also a look at Detroit winning today, and a preview of the Eastern Conference Finals. LA leads at 42-35. As we are going to head to the studio, Candace Parker was spectacular in the first half, 13 points on 6 of 9 shooting. Here is the IHOP halftime report. Nancy Lieberman and Eric Basilius.
Hey guys, my name is Kayla Padilla. I'm a sophomore guard at the University of Pennsylvania. Been training with HomeCourtEdge for almost 10 years now. Please make sure to like this video, subscribe, turn on notifications, and follow us on all of HC's social media channels, and stay tuned for our journey.
We look at the Discover card getting the game highlights.
Well, she was affected early. Now, it's the same thing that happened in game 2. Shots weren't falling. She knew she was going to get some contact. But in game 3 tonight, she's done a terrific job of staying after it. She has had that determination to continue to go to the glass and not back down from anybody inside.
Let's take a look at the Kohler first half stats. LA 52% from the floor, and the fast break points, LA already above where they were for the entire game on Sunday.
They only had 8 on Sunday. They're at 10, and it's only halftime.
What was said at halftime? Let's listen in with Wired.
Like a veteran in the locker room. She's been physical inside and letting everyone else know they have to do the same thing. Marianne Stanley then, though, on the other end, is telling the LA Sparks, don't give this game away. You've been in control from the beginning. Finish what you started.
They were very determined when we saw them earlier today at practice. Let's go over now to Heather Cox.
Well, guys, you heard from the coaches and from Yolanda Griffith a little bit more on the players' perspective out of halftime. Seattle, every single player, every leader stepped up. It wasn't any one vocal leader. You saw Yolanda, every other starter had something to say. They talked about defensive intensity and the fact that they're lacking the intensity that they had in game 2. Everybody was focused. They talked about stopping the fast break, forcing the LA half court. Now, for LA, Tamika Johnson and Lisa Leslie told me that the exact opposite is the case from an X's and O's perspective. They want to have a patient offense and use the shot clock. So, Carolyn, interesting, both teams wanting the same thing for different reasons.
Well, and it's been a physical game, Heather. You even got boxed out by Tom Marr, the referee.
And she didn't skip a beat. She kept on talking as she went into the tunnel. LA missing on its first opportunity in the second half. Again, the winner will take on San Antonio in the Western Conference Finals. Little got a step on Leslie. She had a couple of blocks in the first half and certainly bothered that shot. Keisha Brown had some room, but it's not really Keisha's forte, shooting from beyond the arc. Parker. Working against Little, and that's almost impossible to stop, that little jump hook.
She's not played like a rookie in this game at all.
15 points for Parker as LA is out to its largest lead, 44-35. Not the start that Seattle wanted in the second half. Brian Agler has taken a timeout. Candace Parker, as a rookie, led the WNBA in rebounding. She was first with 17 double-doubles. She can simply flat-out play.
Well, she's tough to guard. In the first half, we saw her with that jump hook using her left hand. Then she shows, I can go both ways, and she comes around nicely with her right.
Camille Little with the almost impossible task of trying to stop Candace Parker. Seattle with the basketball. Little kicking it out to Sheryl Swoopes. who only had 1 point in the first half. The ball stays Seattle's way with 6 seconds left on the shot clock.
The Sparks are doing a nice job of not giving Sue Bird the easy shots that she was able to have in game 2.
Bobbitt is guarding her, and Bobbitt was able to get a hand on it. Up to Milton Jones, back over to Bobbitt, who can hurt you with the 3, and she does it that time.
That's her spot, on the baseline, out by the 3-point line.
Bobbitt with 6. The lead grows to 12. Swoopes dribbles right into a double team of Milton Jones and Parker. She's in a mess of trouble, but Bird somehow is able to get it up and in. Sue now with 7 points. In the first half, Tanisha Wright had 12, Little 13. Those 2 players combining for 15 of Seattle's 35 first half points.
Well, Sue Bird had 23 in the first game and 20 in game 2. She's had a slow start today so far.
With only 7. Moving screen called against LA.
This is when LA's dangerous. Delisha Milton, nice heads-up play to find Shannon Bobbitt in that deep corner. She was knocking that shot down in the NCAA championship game. I think that's her spot.
She has certainly found that. Swoopes with an out-of-control shot that doesn't hit anything. Los Angeles with the 10-point lead. Parker lobbing it into Leslie, who goes up against Griffith, who now has 4 personal fouls. Leslie pounds the court with a lot of intensity.
You just look at how the LA Sparks move everybody to one side of the floor, so it's just one-on-one isolation with Lisa Leslie going against Yolanda Griffith.
Wow, and that is huge. You saw the emotion at the end of the play from Leslie, and fewer players want to win more. And good old number 9.
And I'm going to tell you why that's so huge is because that's the 4th foul on Yolanda Griffith. So that means that you're either going to have to go to Ashley Robinson or Shara Eli, or you've got Kelly Santos on the bench. Not the same presence of the veteran Yolanda Griffith.
Brian Agler is not taking her out. Griffith staying in there with 4 fouls. Leslie completes the 3-point play. She has 11. The lead is 13.
Yo's got 4 points and 4 fouls. She can't afford to get an offensive foul, that's for sure.
LA starting this quarter on an 8-2 run. Tanisha Wright gets a block by Parker. Man, what a double combination that is with Leslie and Parker, the 2 best shot blockers in the league this year.
Well, any guard that drives in the paint has got to know when you go in there, it's going to get dark with the height of those 2. Oh. That ain't happening.
Dribbling into just a big hole. All you see are arms. Shot clock at 8, but it doesn't matter because LA gets the tip. Bobbitt so quick. Tried to get around Little. And a foul called on Seattle. San Antonio into the Western Conference Finals. NBA TV, your place to go Thursday and Saturday for games 1 and 2. And then game 3 we will have on ESPN2, 5 Eastern time. That one we know will be in San Antonio. The question is, will they play LA or Seattle? Yolanda Griffith has 2 fouls in the last 26 seconds. So Brian Agler's decision not to take her out with 4 fouls really hurts him. She now has 5. Leslie elevates and hits over Camille Little. Lisa has 13.
She came down the floor pumping her fist.
She is more than fired up tonight.
She had to have been disappointed in her play in game 2.
Lisa in the series heading in today, just 6 for 17 from the floor with 14 turnovers, but she has been a different player tonight. 15-point lead for the Sparks, who led by 7 at the half. So they came out like gangbusters here in the second half. LA extending its lead.
LA showing zone now.
Oh, Robinson couldn't get to it, but Swin Cash able to battle for it. Bird for three. They need her to hit, but that one's left well short. Robinson with a good hustle rebound. Seattle fighting right now to stay in this game. We had a blowout in game one tonight with Detroit eliminating Indiana in the East. Cash left open, misses. Milton Jones gets it.
Look at Lisa Leslie taking charge, leadership on the floor.
Bobbitt for three, hit one from the baseline. That one doesn't go. Little lost her headband and then lost the basketball. And Camille Little, what a job she has tonight. First she had to guard Candace Parker. Now she's guarding Lisa Leslie with Yolanda Griffith on the bench.
And she's been relied upon to produce a lot of the offense.
She scored 13 points, all in the first half. Keisha Brown off the back rim. Bird on the run. Bobbitt bodied her up and was whistled for her second personal foul. Keisha Brown out. Marie Ferdinand Harris in for the Sparks. Michael Cooper sounded very determined when we talked to him today. And his team really has responded after a subpar showing on Sunday. Parker with an easy rebound and now brings it up. Seattle just 1 for 6 from the floor this quarter. Bobbitt, big dribbling in among the bigs. Baseline jumper. Little gets the rebound but throws it too far in front of Sue Bird. So things starting to unravel in the third quarter for Seattle. They've only scored 2 points in almost 5 minutes of play in the quarter. Their big defensive presence, Yolanda Griffith on the bench with 5 personal fouls.
And a lot of that has to do with how Lisa Leslie's playing her aggressive play on the block. You know, Los Angeles has been such an inconsistent team. Game 1 and game 2, night and day, and now back to playing that aggressive, offensive-minded LA Sparks team.
Robinson blocked Candace Parker's shot, the 2 former Tennessee stars.
This is Lady Vol against Lady Vol. That's a nice clean block by Ashley Robinson. Michael Cooper looks at Candace Parker and says, shot fake next time. Oh, that's all ball. Good call by the official.
But meanwhile, Lisa Leslie has picked up her 4th personal foul for LA. Seattle has gone scoreless for almost 3.5 minutes. Bird ends the drought.
Well, Jessica Moore has come to the table. He's trying to get Lisa Leslie out of the game. Doesn't want her to pick up her 5th.
Tamika Johnson from the outside. Milton Jones battles for the rebound and gives him a fresh 24. Michael Cooper calling the timeout for Los Angeles. Lisa Leslie in the Sparks with a big lead in Seattle.
Sports Center, 11 Eastern, ESPN.
Thank you very much, Eric. Back here, LA leading Seattle 52-39. Lisa Leslie sitting on the bench right now, but she is a huge leader for this team.
I just tell our team we have to play for each other. That's what it's about. It's about each player wearing that Sparks uniform and being selfless. At times, I think we get concerned about our individual stats and what it is that we want to accomplish versus just moving the ball around, letting it find the open player, and just being determined. Don't be denied.
And she is living up to that right now. LA with a 52-39 lead over Seattle. And you see it's she and CP3 with 28 of their points.
She's led by example on the court.
Seattle able to get the ball away that time. Now they got to get their offense in gear. Little passed up a jump shot to give it to Wright. Shoots over Ferdinand Harris. Tanisha Wright with 14, but that's her first basket of the half. The lead is 11, and this crowd has not given up on their storm. Jessica Moore can't handle it. And a jump ball is called. LA has missed its last 5 shots. Lisa Leslie out, sitting on the bench right now with 4 personal fouls. But she's coming right back in.
You got Jeff.
I think that's a risky move. With 3:46, you've got Yolanda Griffin, who has to go to the bench. She has 5. So you risk Lisa Leslie possibly picking up her fifth foul. You've got the advantage right now with Yo sitting on the bench.
And Ashley Robinson in for Katie Geralds. Lisa's going to come in for Jess Moore, who is jumping against Camille Little.
If you could survive and maintain this lead, get out of this third quarter without Lisa picking up that 5th foul.
Right, able to tip it to herself. Somehow she controlled it and scored. 16 for Tanisha, 1 off her season high. Seattle on a 6-0 run. It's energized Key Arena. Parker gets fouled, and then Ashley Robinson got tangled up with Delisha Milton-Jones, but the teams have separated. So the teams gathering together after this incident.
There's a strong, hard foul on Candace Parker, and then Ashley Robinson reacts. Delisha Milton just kind of found herself in her way.
Robinson was called for a personal foul. June Courteau over at the scorers table to straighten it out. Double technical has been called. Robinson picks up the personal foul and a technical foul. The same for Milton Jones, who just gets the technical.
Hey, Jones! Jones! She threw the punch, Jones! No, she didn't. She threw the punch. Jones, listen. Jones, I think you missed that one.
Candace Parker heading to the free throw line to shoot the free throws for Ashley Robinson's personal foul. Let's take a look at it again.
Well, Delisha Milton, I thought the excessive contact was by Ashley Robinson.
Yeah. The officials trying to get a handle on this. LA was involved in that terrible incident we all can't forget. It happened in Detroit back in July. The lead is 10 for Los Angeles. Inside to Robinson, working against Leslie. Shot clock at 3, and that thing went in and out. Ferdinand Harris collects it for LA. Johnson aggressively to the basket, draws a foul.
I think Tamika Johnson has done a terrific job on both sides of the floor. First with her defense on any guard, if it's Tanisha Wright or Sue Bird, and then offensively, she's aggressive, making things happen instead of just standing out, passing, and delivering the basketball from the perimeter.
Ashley Robinson whistled for her 3rd personal foul. Johnson on the season averaging just over 4 points per game. Shannon Bobbitt the same. So you're only getting 8 points from your point guards all year for LA. Johnson fighting back from an injury that really hampered her last year.
You know, I think it would be really wise, Pam, if Michael Cooper, at the next timeout, remind his team to keep their composure. Remind them of the situation that happened in Detroit. They want to make sure that they have every player available to play should they advance to the next round.
And they have to really keep their eye on the prize, which is huge. You win today, you're going to the Western Conference Finals and keep your hopes alive of winning a championship. Seattle has gotten nothing from its bench.
You watch every screen Sue Bird comes off of. There's a huge help showing by another LA player.
Right. Mrs. Robinson has a go off of her hands. So the frustration continuing for Ashley Robinson and the rest of the Storm. They won the championship in 2004 and have gone out in the first round of the playoffs every year since. This would be year number 4 in a row if they lose tonight. LA has not scored a field goal in over 4.5 minutes. Milton Jones called for a foul over the back. That's 3 for D-Nasty or Sunshine, depending on which nickname you want to go after. Sue Bird's team in a 12-point hole as we approach 2 minutes here. Under 2 minutes in the third. Little, oh, that's nice. Little's first basket of the half. She has 15 points. Parker thought about it, thought better.
Trying to find the high-low to Lisa Leslie. They're still trying to go inside.
Ferdinand Harris pops over Bird and puts it in. They are hitting those shots. Said it before, we'll say it again. Michael Cooper said we will take those shots that we took on, what he said? He said, I pray that those shots will be open tonight. They have been, and he's right. They have been hitting them tonight, unlike Game 2 Sunday.
I mean, he guaranteed that they were going to go down today.
LA's bench outscoring Seattle's bench 16-0. Ferdinand Harris has 10 of those 16. Let's see with a little head fake around Robinson, who blocked her shot and then kept the ball in bounds. 2 blocks for Ashley tonight. Bird lost it, got it back, threw up an air ball. Wanted the foul, says she was hit in the arm, but the official disagrees. Shannon Bobbitt in to run the point as Tamika Johnson takes a break for LA.
Sue was explaining to the official, when I was dribbling, she grabbed my arm. But still, for Sue's part, if she grabbed your arm, don't come around and throw up an off-balance shot.
Timeout taken with 38.3 seconds left to go in the half. Los Angeles leading Seattle by a dozen. Well, LA has had the better of it, but a big old goose egg for Seattle so far this evening.
Well, in Game 1, you got to remember Sheryl Swoopes came off the bench. In Game 2, she started, so that was part of the bench points.
With 16 points in Game 2 as a starter for Swoopes. .4 of a second difference between the shot and game clock. So LA can just about kill this quarter with this possession.
Well, they're better off just to take care of the ball, make sure that they get the shot that they want. I don't think that was it.
This might be it. Parker leaves it short. Milton Jones with 7 seconds left. Rebounds it. Bobbitt up under and in. 8 points for Shannon Bobbitt. And that puts a capper on the third quarter. The Sparks leading at 59-45, extending what was a 7-point halftime lead. They've doubled it to 14. San Antonio awaits the winner. So far, it's Los Angeles. Welcome back to Seattle, where the fourth quarter is not quite ready to get underway. Officials have put 1.6 seconds back on the clock because the clock did not move when it should have. It did not start on time, so they're going to inbounds. Seattle has the basketball just over midcourt. The Sparks do have a foul to give. Swoopes gets the shot off. And it almost went in. Now the third quarter is over. 59-45. LA with the lead over Seattle. We'll be back with the fourth quarter coming up. WNBA cares. Fourth quarter about to get underway. Heather Cox standing by with Brian Eckler.
Back in Seattle, elimination game between Seattle and Los Angeles, joined by Seattle head coach Brian Agler and coach Yolanda Griffith. Your big presence inside has foul trouble. What's your strategy for utilizing her in the fourth quarter?
Well, we're just going to have to get an active lineup in there right now to try to catch up. She'll get back in the game. We'll try to match her up with Leslie when she comes back in, and then we'll see what happens. But we've got to make some things happen with some quickness.
What's the biggest puzzle you have to solve to win this game and keep your season alive?
Well, we're going to find a way to score and get them stopped. I mean, it's pretty simple right now. We're down 14 points with 10 minutes to go.
Thanks, Coach.
That is pretty simple. We got to score, and we have to stop them from scoring. Sounds easier than it sounds easy.
Sounds easy, but it's easier said than done.
Particularly when you have players like Lisa Leslie and Candace Parker on the other side. Parker with 16 points. Lisa Leslie has 13, so they have combined for 29 points tonight.
The other thing that the Storm need to do is they've got to find some way to get Sue Bird involved more in the offense. They need to get some scoring from Sue Bird.
Sue averaged 21.5 points in the first two games of this series so far. Tonight, she has 9 points, 4 of 10 from the floor, just 1 of 4 from beyond the arc. Lauren Jackson in street clothes had her foot operated on after the Olympics on August 28th, said she would be ready to go. She hopes for the WNBA finals, but not before then. Moving screen on Swoopes. We just looked over. She is frustrated. Sheryl Swoopes, who was spectacular on Sunday. 0 for 6 from the floor, 0 for 3 from three-point range. Boy, Milton Jones didn't gather that one in.
Michael Cooper making the decision to keep Lisa Leslie on the bench to start the fourth quarter.
Lisa starting on the bench with her 4 personal fouls. Tanisha Wright stepped on the end run for the turnover. Seattle has only lost 1 game in this building all year. It was to Connecticut way back in June.
To tell you this, Pam, the LA Sparks have not won here in this building since the 30th of June in 2006.
So they've gone a couple of regular seasons without winning here. Cash blocked Milton Jones' shot away. Ball going over to Seattle. You can see the frustration on a lot of the Storm players' faces. They got to keep it together and try to chip away at this lead. Brian Agler saying he wants to get more quick players out there. Cash playing with a bad back. Bobbitt called for the foul on Wright. Check it, they got Jessica Moore for the foul.
Yolanda Griffith's coming back into the ball game.
So here we go. I guess it's now or never time for Seattle. You're down 14. You get your biggest defensive presence in the post back in with Yo Griffith. Wright takes it right over Bobbitt and draws the foul. That will be Bobbitt's 3rd.
Bobbitt just needs to do a better job of keeping Tanisha Wright in front of her. Make Wright shoot that outside perimeter shot as opposed to getting beat off the dribble.
Well, Wright really has improved that aspect of her game, taking people off the dribble. She's about 8 or 9 inches taller than Bobbitt. Coming up on NBA TV, Game 1 of the East Finals, Detroit at New York at the Garden on Friday at 7:30 Eastern. Then join us for Game 2 in Detroit Sunday at 3 Eastern on ESPN2. If there is a Game 3, it'll be in Detroit 7 Eastern time Monday night. The game originally they thought would be in Newark, but they moved the series to start a day later because the Rangers are in the building playing a preseason hockey game. I can't believe it's hockey season already. It never seems to end. Right with the free throw. Ferdinand Harris with a little jump stop, gets it into Leslie, who collects it. And Lisa now has 15 on the night.
Ferdinand Harris has had one heck of a game. If it's not with her shot, knocking down the open jumper, penetrating in, and then just a nice dish to Lisa Leslie.
Marie has 10 points on the night and a couple of nifty assists. Bird with the runner. Jessica Moore with the box out, but somehow the ball went into Swoopes. Sheryl Swoopes has her first field goal, and it comes with only 8 minutes to go in the game.
This game is by far not over, especially when you have two veterans like Sheryl Swoopes and Yolanda Griffith on the floor.
12-point advantage. Parker now running the point. Dribbles it, shoots, hits, but there's a foul on Jessica Moore.
You know, in game two, Lisa Leslie struggled to get open. This time she's able to gather the basketball and she's able to finish inside the paint.
Lisa Leslie with 15, Parker with 16. A couple of blocks for Leslie, who really struggled with turnovers in the first two games of this series, but has kept that in check tonight. Little working on Parker. Little drop step around her. Leslie could not get the rebound cleanly as she had stepped out of bounds. Lauren Jackson standing in street clothes. She did that in game two as well, despite the bad right ankle. She did practice over the weekend, was hopeful to play on Sunday, but the foot swelled up, and now she's shut it down again. Right from the outside, just a little bit too strong. Leslie collects another rebound.
Now, not having Lauren Jackson, that's 20 points a game that's sitting over on the sideline.
Led her team in rebounding and scoring. 20 points, 7 rebounds, led them in steals and blocks. One of the best players in the world is standing over there as a spectator. Swoopes over Spencer. Right with the rebound. And a foul on the floor before she gets the follow-up. Shannon Bobbitt all of a sudden has 4 personal fouls. Swin cash in for Seattle. Sheryl Swoopes to the bench.
Yeah, Lauren Jackson's looking on because, you know, they made the decision to hold her out until if this team advances into the finals. So she's not playing right now. She's not even active. She got on the floor to practice for the first time yesterday, made the decision, and had a lot of confidence that her team could carry on to move on to the second round.
Especially after watching their impressive performance in the Game 2 64-50 win on Sunday. Nothing doing underneath for Seattle. Ferdinand Harris on the break against Bird, who stops her. Tamika Johnson in with Bobbitt sitting down with her foul trouble. She's got 4 of them. Ferdinand Harris has it blocked away. Swin Cash has a couple of swats tonight.
Ferdinand Harris made the decision to not use the on-by screen by Lisa Leslie, but she just went right into trouble. Go ahead and use that screen, because when she rolls, she's going to be wide open on the baseline.
Cash able to get her on the baseline. Griffith has to be careful with the 5 personals. She did not foul. Good defensive play. And her 3rd block.
There's 3 seconds on the shot clock.
Spencer with the miss. And the ball goes out of bounds to Seattle. Candace Parker called for a foul on the rebound. So she has 3. Delisha Milton-Jones has 3. Leslie has 4. Bobbitt has 4. LA 14 fouls in this quarter. Seattle has none. But Seattle's hit only 1 of its 7 shots in the quarter before Wright ended that one. 19 for Tanisha Wright. That is a new season high for her. Lisa backing in on Griffith, who has foul trouble, but still won't back down. Wright gets it taken away by Leslie. Tamika Johnson to Bird. Griffith and Lisa get tangled up. Bodies flying. Lisa Leslie and Yolanda Griffith. They've been playing against each other for a long time. Lisa just picked up personal foul number 5. For Sparks fans on this night, because this WNBA playoff game presented by Adidas has LA leading Seattle by 10. 5:43 left to go in the quarter. The winner of this game will play San Antonio in the best-of-3 Western Conference Finals. Bird and Swoopes for the series, averaging 21.5 and 11.5 points respectively tonight, well below their averages.
Well, they've been held under in single digits, and a lot of the scoring has been coming from Camille Little and Tanisha Wright. So you have to believe that the LA Sparks game plan was take Sue Bird out of the picture, make someone else beat you.
And so far it has worked. Yolanda Griffith gets her first free throw. Let's go over to Heather Cox.
We haven't had a chance to eavesdrop into both huddles. For Seattle, Brian Agler said we must be active on every possession. No second shots. Everyone's a rebounder. Right now the Storm out-rebounded by 6. Clearly, he wants to limit LA. For Los Angeles, they already have 16 turnovers. The coaching staff said, don't let their pressure make us rush. Make good decisions. Clearly, the Sparks anticipating some full court pressure by the Storm, guys.
And they've been playing well lately. They're on a 6-0 run. LA has scored on only one of its 8 trips down the court in this quarter. Sydney Spencer dribbling a lot. Griffith bottles her up. Sid calls for timeout. Seattle only down by 8 with plenty of time left to go in an elimination game. So much is on the line in this game for the veterans on both sides, hoping to advance on to the Western Conference Finals against San Antonio. And this quarter so far has belonged to Seattle as they are only down by 8. Shot clock at 4, Carolyn.
Each team has...
They got to travel on Johnson before the foul.
Well, each team has owned home court.
A terrific crowd again showing up for this game. LA has turned the ball over 6 times in this quarter and has only scored 2 points. Wright has been the offensive star, kicks it back out to Bird. Shot clock inside of 10. Sue around the little screen, puts it up. Huge 3 for Sue Bird. The lead is 5.
Candace Parker did not help. Marie Ferdinand went behind the screen.
The closest Seattle has been since the second quarter. Parker, double teamed, has to kick it back out. Ferdinand Harris misses badly. Rebound gathered by Cash, who was able to get it up to Wright. Inside of 10 seconds, Seattle on a 9-0 run. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Bird around another screen, has to put it up and in. Sue Bird coming alive in the last couple of trips. It's a 3-point lead.
You knew Sue Bird had to get involved in the offense at some point in time during the game.
Tamika Johnson, high off glass, ends the drought.
Hey, but I told you, this game is far from being over, especially with the leadership that you have on the Seattle Storm team.
I didn't quite believe you when you said it, but you've made a believer out of me. LA went 4 minutes and 44 seconds without a field goal. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Wright takes it right in, and Cash was not boxed out. think Swin was surprised she was so open. Her first basket. Lisa Leslie going to check in at the next whistle. They need her. Milton Jones, no. Rebound, Cash gets it over to Wright. On a held ball, Johnson with good instincts just went in there and grabbed it. Swin cashed that last basket, Carolyn. That was their first bench points of the night for the Storm.
They need that bench contribution, and especially from Swin Cash. Now remember, she's suffering from a lower back injury. Is it a ruptured disc?
She's had to get cortisone shots, did that during the Olympic break. But she has come in and given them some valuable contributions in the fourth quarter. Lisa Leslie stepping into the circle to jump it, even though here comes Tamika Johnson. That's the oldest trick in the book, right? You try to get somebody other than the shortest player on the court to jump it. But they finally got it sorted out. Johnson coming in to jump against Wright. Oh, and LA got it anyway. Wow. LA had led by as many as 15 points in this game. Led by 14 going into the fourth quarter. Parker gets a big bucket. Every bucket's big now. 18 for Parker.
The LA Sparks continue to go inside, trying to pick up that sixth foul on Yolanda Griffith.
First basket of the quarter for CP3. Cash, right down the baseline, dribbles into a double team and gets her shot blocked. The follow was halfway down. Parker with the rebound. Leslie, charge. You got it, and Lisa Leslie is just fouled out. As Lauren Jackson cheers on the sideline, Sue Bird and Seattle are making a huge comeback. They're only down by 5. We're back in Seattle. Time now for today's game summary presented by Adidas. Candace Parker with a monstrous game, but Seattle with a monstrous fourth quarter. They were down 14 heading into the final quarter. Lisa Leslie, right before we went to break, fouled out. Half of those 6 fouls were offensive fouls.
And Lisa was such a huge presence inside, especially attacking Yolanda Griffith down low. She was not afraid. She did not go in tentative like she did in first half of game 2. She was playing strong.
But now she's out of the game. Let's go over to Heather Cox.
And before they left the huddle, Lisa Leslie with the parting words for her team. In this final 2 minutes, she said, everything we've talked about, we must do. Everything got very quiet, and she simply said, don't let this opportunity pass us by.
The consummate leader for this team has to do it on the sidelines. Bird hits an impossible running shot. Sue has 16.
And I knew she had to get involved in this offense at some point in time. She's been the offensive leader since Lauren Jackson has not been able to play.
She has 7 of her 16 points in this fourth quarter. Foul called here on Seattle. Tanisha Wright picks up her third.
Well, Brian Agler from the beginning of the year wanted her to be more offensive-minded, and it's paid off so that she's ready, willing to knock down shots like that.
Seattle with only 1 team foul. The Sparks with 5. Shot clock at 3. Ferdinand Harris gets it off. Rebound, Milton Jones. And Camille Little comes away with it for Seattle. Right, spinning, out of control, offensive foul. Tanisha Wright, who has 19, that time tried to do too much on her own.
Well, you've got to compliment Ferdinand Harris of moving her feet, cutting off the lane to the basket, and the ability to draw the charge. Muriel Page loves it.
She is all fired up. Marie Ferdinand Harris playing a complete game here tonight. As we approach the 1-minute mark, Seattle needs another stop. Oh, Bobbitt all the way to the basket. Bird has to foul her. That's only Sue's first personal foul.
And for the first time, I really saw Shannon Bobbitt take charge of her team. She's calling her teammates, get in this huddle. That's what she needs to do to be the point guard that Michael Cooper needs her to be.
So much on her shoulders. She won a couple of national championships at Tennessee, but she's a rookie running the point for a team that includes Lisa Leslie and Candace Parker.
That could be a little intimidating.
I would be intimidated. I'm intimidated just talking about it. Major League Baseball continues on ESPN Friday night. The Cubs in Milwaukee. An important game for the Brewers trying to get into the playoffs. Friday Night Baseball presented by Holiday Inn. Part of the hunt for October on ESPN at 8 Eastern. Coverage starts an hour earlier with baseball tonight. Bobbitt missed them both. Cash got the rebound. We are inside a minute.
You got to make sure if you're the LA Sparks, you know where Sue Bird is.
Wright running the point. Bird doesn't get it cleanly, but comes away with it on the switch guarded by Milton Jones. 3 seconds on the shot clock. Wright did not get it off in time. LA got the rebound anyway, but Michael Cooper goes over and slaps Shannon Bobbitt's hand. I think so hard I saw her shaking it over there. He told us he has complete confidence in his point guards, including the rookie Bobbitt.
But it's been the defense from the LA Sparks. And you look how much attention Sue Bird draws. And then Delisha Milton-Jones does a terrific job switching out and then staying active, making sure that Sue Bird has no clear vision to get her shot off.
We have both of our coaches mic'd up. Let's listen into some strategy.
No more timeouts. We got a foul to give before we get him in a bonus, okay? So we got the foul right here. If we foul, do they shoot? Okay, so we got one to give. We got it right when they get in. The next time, we got to right away because we got one to give, okay? The second time they go to the line, the second foul. Okay?
Listen,
get a stop.
And then we're not done.
Now, listen to me. We're scoring quick. If we cut this thing to 1 and they get the ball, we got to press. Okay? We got to press. And then we have to...
Michael Cooper, as we just heard from Brian Agler. Here's Michael Cooper. He is getting Candace Parker and company ready to go out.
Brian Agler had to give his team a lot of information because they have no timeouts left. They have one foul to give. He's telling his team, foul, so that if they need to send LA to the free throw line to try to get the possession back, he now has put them into the 1-and-1. Sue Bird's asking the question, we foul right away? And he said yes. Then after that, no foul until you get direction from him.
Seattle valiantly fighting back, down by 14 heading into this quarter. Trimming it to 3, but LA has the ball. Lisa Leslie has fouled out. Bird right away, listening to Brian Agler. That's only her second personal.
That's going to be crucial down the stretch because remember, Shannon Bobbitt missed her last 2 free throws. So now if the Storm want to put LA to the free throw line, you go after Shannon Bobbitt.
So no fouls to give for either team, and Seattle has no timeouts. LA has 1 full one remaining. Excuse me, they have to try to make this comeback with no timeouts.
Well, the Storm does not, they don't have to foul right now. They have enough time. If they just get a stop, they have time to come down and have their own offensive possession.
It's only a 1-possession game right now. No need to foul. Oh, Bird says, no, I didn't. Tom Maurer says, yes, you did. Sue picks up her 3rd. So Shannon Bobbitt, who the last time she went to the line, missed both of them.
Well, she caught her with the arm. I think that's a clear foul.
Oh, I don't know.
That arm was impeding the progress of the
Harris
offense.
had her arms up high, too. That's sort of...
They officiate the defense.
It's not a foul. Ferdinand Harris actually going to the line for 2 big ones, and Bird cannot believe it.
She's 2 for 2 on the night.
Now we've got a 2-possession game. Lisa Leslie can only look on. She had 15 points before she fouled out, also 7 rebounds and 2 blocks.
Ferdinand Harris is having the game the LA Sparks needed her to have off the bench.
And you don't want her on the line. As you saw, she's their best free throw shooter at 89%. She's 4 for 4 tonight. Leads 5. Seattle has to push it. Katie Gerald's is their outside shooting threat, but she's bottled up. Little goes right into Parker, who thought she had a block. But instead, they got Bobbitt with the foul from behind. That's 5 on the guard.
This is not what the Sparks want with the Seattle Storm able to score and the clock's not running.
Nope, you want that clock to keep on rolling. Camille Little is 4 for 4 from the line. She heads back.
Everyone is standing in this arena except us.
Little now with 16. Swoopes and cash in. Gerald's and Griffith out. Defensive substitution for Agler. Tamika Johnson in for Muriel Page, so Michael Cooper gets another ball handler on the floor. LA still has 1 timeout left. Seattle has none.
Now, LA's got to box out because the Storm have been able to come up with offensive rebounds off missed free throws.
Boy, Little's come up big, only a 64% shooter on the season, but she's hit all of her free throws tonight. Right, fouling Johnson in the backcourt. That's 5 on Tanisha Wright. Tamika Johnson, a 72% free throw shooter, heads to the line.
And she's 2 of 2 tonight.
So LA trying to salt this game away and move on to a date at home against San Antonio. Time now for our fan house play of the game, and it's Candace Parker.
She just does a terrific job and is a nightmare, as you said, nightmare mismatch, and especially when you're trying to guard her one-on-one.
Oh, Johnson coming up big. She's got 8. The lead's back to 5. Seattle. Time running out on their season.
And LA has not won in this building since June 30th of 2006.
Little trying to keep them alive. They can't get the bounce. Katie Gerald's fouls Parker. And Los Angeles 4.9 seconds away from playing San Antonio in the finals. Carla and Catherine, 2 of the owners for the Seattle franchise. Carla Christopherson and Catherine Goodman, and
they're the LA Sparks.
I'm sorry, the Sparks owners, excuse me. So that's why they're smiling. Seattle with the new ownership group this year, with the Sonics moving to Oklahoma City. And LA is putting this game away at the free throw line. Parker up now with 19 points, and how frustrating for Lauren Jackson not to be able to play at all since the Olympic break because of the ankle surgery.
But you knew LA was going to come focused and ready, especially with the attitude Michael Cooper had at shoot-around this morning.
Los Angeles hits its last 6 from the line. And for the 4th straight year, the Seattle Storm are eliminated in the first round of the playoffs. They lose only their 2nd home game of the season. What a painful one this is, but you have to give LA credit. You're right, Carolyn. They did not play well at all on Sunday. Cooper got his troops together. They got it all together as he just said going off the court.
He said that they were stunned by the physical play, weren't ready for it in the first half, didn't adjust to the second half. They came ready from start to finish tonight.
20 points for Parker, 15 for Lisa Leslie. Great fans and in Seattle see the Seattle trailing by big margins. Cut it to 3 on 4 different occasions in the fourth quarter, but could get no closer. Let's go over to Heather, who is Candace Parker.
Pam, thanks so much. 20 points for CP3 and Candace. Your dream season continues. Your first playoff series win and your rookie year. How did you guys do it? With all these people, right?
We didn't want to give up. We put it in our heads that we weren't going to stop, and we didn't.
Troublemakers, aren't they?
Definitely, but we're troublemakers, but we go out in the Western Conference Finals. Let's go.
You guys had a 14-point lead going into the fourth quarter. It was cut to 3. How did you guys keep your composure late?
Well, we knew that every great team was going to make a push, and they made a push at us, but we were able to withstand that, and we made huge plays down the stretch, and we just stayed together.
You survive and advance the prize as you play San Antonio, the top team in the West. What will it take to get to the finals?
I think just playing with a sense of urgency and playing together like we did tonight.
I'll let you go celebrate with the team. Nice team effort to the Sparks, Pam.
All right, way to hang in there, Heather. And Candace Parker already has a national championship, actually back-to-back national championships with Tennessee, including one this year. She has an Olympic gold medal, and her dream for the trifecta continues in the WNBA.
It's a strong possibility as they advance to the Western Conference Finals.
So Los Angeles wins it by the final of 71-64. Seattle.
Hey guys, my name is Kayla Padilla. I'm a sophomore guard at the University of Pennsylvania. Been training with HomeCourtEdge for almost 10 years now. Please make sure to like this video, subscribe, turn on notifications, and follow us on all of HC's social media channels, and stay tuned for our